We got Pablo coming from Spain.
Hi.
I've been to Spain. I really liked it. It's a beautiful country. Why is truth worth pursuing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Deep question, Pablo. And did you want to expound on that, or was that it? Is that just what you got?
Right. So here's the thing. In this program, in this show, truth is something that is always talked about as, a goal in itself.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that's enough.
Okay.
Right? It's not enough to just say, no, truth for truth's sake.
Yeah.
So you need another goal for that truth to be worthy.
Okay.
And the problem I find myself in here is, can I prove in any way that truth produces more good than evil? Because you see, for me personally, it's very easy, right? For me as an individual, it's very easy. It's good. But for society, for humanity as a whole, I'm not convinced.
Okay.
This is an interesting proposition.
Yeah.
So
let me do this one, Dan.
Oh, you want
first? Just first.
All right,
it's a back and forth.
You're the host, bud.
Yeah. Well,
I'm co-host.
I think that truth is useful. Not just truth for truth's sake, that it's on some sort of pillar, that it exists in some platonic ideal, some unattainable goal, that you're a better person, that you're virtuous if you know the truth. I think it's quite plainly useful. Useful to know what the speed limit is so I don't get a ticket. Useful to know that there's a bridge that is walkable, that if I walk across it, I won't fall into a ravine and perhaps die.
Sure.
It keeps me alive. It keeps me bound within the confines of safety and laws that we all agree upon. But also, to the extent that certain notions of truth, certain notions of right and wrong, usefulness, will dictate what kind of experiences I can have in life. And if I believe that it's true, that it's morally wrong to do X, then I'm going to not do X because I don't want to commit some sort of moral faux pas, right? And if I have certain attitudes towards ways of living, right, who I can touch, for example, or in a consensual way, then I will be limiting my life, and perhaps I will be in conflict with my own freedom in a way that is unnecessary and perhaps unhelpful. You hear about people that we had a caller called in a couple weeks ago who had what he thought were sinful thoughts about I don't know if it was women or men or whoever, but even having thoughts for him of an erotic nature were somehow evil and bad, and I don't think that that's true. And so I have the freedom I'm painting myself as some sort of mental pervert, but I have the freedom to think all the dirty thoughts I want to, and I choose not to act upon them most of the time.
You dirty, dirty boy.
Dirty boy.
But I'm not sure this is exactly what Pedro's asking, though. I think what Pedro is saying is truth worth it in all circumstances. I think Pedro is saying, well, doesn't truth cause harm in some ways? Is that right, Pedro? Pablo, excuse me.
Right, yes.
Okay,
yes,
I did.
Absolutely correct.
Okay, yeah. So he says
it's an easy, right? It's very easy to demonstrate. I can say, okay, truth leads to science, science leads to technology, technology leads to all sorts of good and bad things.
Yeah.
Right? It's not controversial.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a scenario, but if you lived happily with your partner or something, but you found out many years ago they cheated on you or something, I don't know, like, is that going to be worth it to bring up if they still care about you? Is that just going to make it harm? I don't know. Like, I feel like, is truth pursuable in all circumstances? Everybody tells white lies every once in a while to get out of social situations.
Yeah, we had a caller not too long ago, just to piggyback on what you said.
Yeah.
We'll see, you've got a dying grandparent or something,
Yeah.
and they believe in, I don't know, Zarathustra. They believe in Ahura Mazda, and they believe that when they die, Ahura Mazda will take them up into the bosom of heaven, and they will be living in peace and harmony for all of time with all of their ancestors, or whatever the heck the Zoroastrians believe. And they're about to die. But the hardcore atheist grandchild walks in and says, Grandma.
He tips his fedora and says, "Milady," and
Milady, you're going to the abyss.
Yeah.
There is nothing waiting for you on the other side of consciousness. You will not. No, that's.
Yeah.
What's the utility of that truth, if that is in fact the truth? I don't know. I don't think there is any.
Yeah, truth can be harmful, and there's consequences to truth. And so it does call into question, what is the value of truth? Is truth valuable in all circumstances? I don't know if we can make a universal rule. I think we can say truth is valuable in at least most circumstances.
Yeah.
I think I want to believe in as many true things as possible. Not everybody does, and that's fine. But if we're going to live in an organized society, we have to make decisions as an organized society. And if we're going to make decisions as an organized society, we have to base that on something. And I think that has to be true things. A lot of countries in the world suffer with corruption because they're not getting the right data from research that they're doing, because there's internal politics involved, people fudging numbers, people trying to impress their bosses. This happens not even with governments, just with corporations and all over the world, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we would say that those are bad things, but they're benefiting those people in the moment. So they would say, well, maybe this is good for me and what I'm doing. I mean, we don't often have a universal view. We kind of are self-benefiting sometimes, and that kind of means hiding the truth.
Yeah.
So,
any last thoughts, Pablo?
Well, I don't really think I can offer anything more.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling us. We do appreciate your call. The value of truth. I do think that, like I think we said, there's no universal rule, but I know when it's valuable. I know when it's. I think I know when it's not.
Yeah.
But that's debatable as well.